Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another Monday with conversations from a masterful raconteur. You know, I was just sitting here editing my movie SheDaPlaya, and I took a break and I decided to look at the news, and I was just I, and actually this has kind of been stirring up in me for the last few days too. Hate, and it makes me feel so much better and about doing a comedy movie. My movie SheDaPlaya is comedy. I wanted to, when I first wrote it, I wanted to just make people laugh and just try to make people, help people to feel better. And while I'm really focusing on people that love comedy, I'm hoping that people who don't watch comedy or who don't typically enjoy comedy, I hope that they will watch this movie. SheDaPlaya, because there's a lot of scenes in it that I really believe will make you laugh, will make you um, like really laugh, and I think it's so needed and so necessary right now. In times like right now, because hate, man, hate is growing. Hate is like literally growing. It's growing. Hate is not new. We know that, but it's like growing. It's growing. It's growing. It's growing too rapidly here in the last. You know. It's just too much. It's too strong. And I just been thinking about the things that feed hate. What is it that make people just hate? Just hate. And I was just looking at uh, the destruction, the genocide that's taking place in Pakistan. It takes a lot of hate for somebody to have the power, the military, the weaponry to just destroy somebody else's land and just murder the people, women, children, elderly, the sick, the homeless, the people that's in nursing homes, everybody, and not care. That's a lot of hate. That's a lot of hate, man. We need to laugh some more. We need to have something to intercept some of this hate, because it's too strong. It's just it's too strong, you know. And I just wonder, you who are watching me right now, do you have somebody that you are for certain of they hate you? Like they hate you. And is there somebody that you just hate? Ah, that's something we don't really want to admit openly. I know, I get it. I can remember there was some times in my life, you know, some years ago, there was a couple of people. I can't say that I just hated them, but I truly, truly disliked them. I really did. So I think it's natural to feel very strongly negative about somebody. I don't know. I guess depending on how you look at it, it's natural to hate somebody. I guess, um, but I just think that that's a terrible thing to hate somebody when there's so much. There's so much more that's going on in life that's so much bigger than that. You know that we all have to deal with right where we are. I can remember about how long ago has it been? It's probably about 30 30 years or so ago. I don't remember exactly. I know it was a long time ago. I remember let me see. This is it was 30, maybe 35 years or so ago. I had went to a party, and there was this childhood friend of mine who was at the party. I had not seen him. Now, what am I? In my 20s to mid 20s, and we were, I believe, the same age. And we saw each other at the party. And I just never forgot this because this was the very, very profound moment and experience that I had. Now, we lived in the same neighborhood, so we played together as kids, right? And we were actually in elementary school at this time, you know. Um, and so we were playing, and they had like a basketball goal in their yard. So some of us would go to his house and play basketball, you know. And he had a brother, and he had a cousin, and we'd just be several of us would be playing ball, just typical kids. And I remember we got into it, me and this guy, we got into a fight, and I happened to get the best of him in that fight. Now, all of those years back, here I am. How old are you when you're in the elementary school? You're somewhere about 8, 9 years old, something like that. So here I am now. Both of us, we're like we headed towards 30, you know, and we had not seen each other since we were in elementary school. And so when I saw him, I was excited because it was a surprise. And I'm like, hey man, what's happening? So I go up to greet him, and he's looking at me like this. And I saw it as I'm approaching him. And I knew in the moment he wasn't excited to see me, but we haven't seen each other since we were kids. And we full grown men pushing 30. So I'm walking up to him. I'm like happy to see him. And he looking at me like this. I called his name, spoke to him. And the first thing he said to me, looking me straight in my eye, he said, yeah, I remember when you beat me up in my own yard and my big brother wouldn't even help me. And this guy was so cold. And I remember that moment. Uh, it's like it caught me so off guard, and it made the hair on my back stand up, because I feel like if he had had a gun in that moment, he might have shot me. This brother has held on to something from childhood toward me uh, all of his life up until that point. He was angry and bitter all of these years, man. 20 years or however long, close to 20 years if it wasn't 20 years. And I just never forgot that, because I felt very vulnerable in that moment. Like, man, he had me. If he wanted me, he had me, you know? And and so people always like to call me when I go live, man. And I ask them not to do that, but they anyway. Um But that to me is an example of hate, because the way he talked to me and the way he looked at me, um, uh, you know, I think he just hated me and he wanted to get revenge his whole life. This brother just wanted to get revenge on me. And like I said, we kids, man. We kids when we have this fight. And my good friend, my actor, Uncle Clean, said you must have beat the brakes off his ass. Yeah, I got him pretty good, but I don't really totally remember the fight. I just remember that he couldn't fight, and he was the one was selling out. He was the one was selling out, and he tried, man, and it went bad for him. Is what had happened, and I remember that. But he resented me and he hated me all of these years, man. And so I was looking at the news today, and I was watching a clip where the president says blatantly, I hate my opponents. And everybody's talking about the uh, the revenge factor, you know. And if you don't know what's going on with all of that, then maybe you should do your homework, you know. Revenge, man. You want to take revenge on somebody, you know. The thing about this life is we win some and we lose some. And you know, there's something in the Bible that says something about he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. All of us have done something somewhere along our way, sometimes more than one time, you know, where we you know we were the culprit, you know, and then we have also taken some blows too, you know. We've given some and we've taken some, you know, just like I talk about how I had that fight as a kid, you know. um, I got in a few other scuffles where I didn't come out on top. You know, one or two I didn't. You know, uh, but we win some and we lose some. You know, but this hate is destroying people right where they are. You know, and that's why I think that you know, producing a comedy movie right now, for me personally, I'm proud that I'm doing that because fortunately all over the globe, there are people who love comedy. There are people who enjoy laughing. There are people who enjoy um, going to a movie to watch a comedy movie or watching something on a streaming platform or flipping channels and aha, there's a comedy movie and watch it. Fortunately for me and the cast, we have a comedy movie that hopefully prayerfully will lighten the load to the degree that the creator allows us, you know, on this planet earth. And I say planet earth because people all over the globe is going to be watching our movie SheDaPlaya. But it's just so much hate that I hope that laughter will find a way to be a distraction for some of this hate, you know. And I hope that our movie is going to be a significant uh, part of that because when it's all said and done, you know, we're going to need some laughter. I can tell you that right now because if the haters had their way, if the haters had their way, there would be nothing good. Everything would just be either destroyed or at the brink of destruction because hate has people so consumed that they can't see anything too much outside of that. You know, they're really blind. They really are. They're blind. And that's a sad thing, man. That's a sad thing. I hope you are not a hater. So I'm practicing. It's a lot of times that negative energy is something that you know you have to practice your way out of it because it comes naturally. I remember, well, actually, just yesterday, me and the band that I just put back together, we were rehearsing, and one of the musicians came in, and the first thing that the musician was talking about was a situation where it was something about something. I don't really want to talk about it, but it was negative energy. And I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. If you can't say something good about the situation, then I don't want to hear nothing because we got to have some harmony in here. We cannot let this negative energy seep into the what we're trying to accomplish here. We can't do it. There's always something positive and something negative. So let's talk about the positive, you know." And I shut it down. I shut it down. Said no, and you know, and when I think about the movie SheDaPlaya that I'm producing, nothing negative. You know, We got all of these different people coming, actors coming from different places throughout Florida and parts of Georgia, coming to be a part of this movie. It is as diverse as it needs to be. And we always have fun. We're always having a good time. We don't have any negative energy. That's where I want to be around. I want to be a part of that type of atmosphere and that type of energy, man. Because if we don't be mindful, um, it's so easy to slip into that negative space. I was talking with a dear friend of mine this morning. And I was sharing about how there's this guy who was a part of he was a part of the technical crew for my production Thug for President, and this guy paid me a high compliment about being and being proud about being a part of that production, and how he really wanted to see the production. And he complimented me on the things that I'm doing right now. He's fully aware um, that I've just gone from one production to the next production, and he gave me kudos for that, which I'm very, very grateful for. But here's the thing that, again, I had to practice, tell myself, no, don't let yourself feel negative about this, Barry. So he says, well, man, I really want to see the production of the president, because, like I say, he was a part of it. So I said, well, it's on my streaming platform, man. You can watch it for like $3. It's like $2.99, $3. You can watch it. You can watch it for 30 days, and you can watch it 24/7. You can take your time and watch, because it's like a series. So you can take your time and watch the whole thing. Now, he wants to watch it and what uh see, his contribution to it, and he is not willing to pay $3 to do that. At the same token, he don't want to give me $3 to support me. And this is somebody that I accommodated them. I paid them for their services. They came from out of town. I made sure that they ate. I made sure that they had a place to stay, compensated for gas, and paid their price for their services. And trust me, $3 ain't even a drop in the bucket of what he earned. But he can't give me $3. Now, my first vibe was, you know what, man? It was like negative, and I had to catch myself and say, no, 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 Barry, don't do that. Don't do that. Forget that, man. Let it go. Forget it. Go on, man. Keep on doing positive things. Keep on producing, doing these good things. Keep your focus where it need to be, on the big picture, looking at what's ahead, all of this good stuff that's coming ahead. Now, I'm talking about me, but I can almost guarantee that almost everybody got some positive things going on in their life. And you need to stay focused on those positive things, because them negative things is going to happen. It's like, if you know anything about football, quarterback drops back to throw a pass to a receiver. There's a defensive player down there. I'm not saying the defensive player is a hater. I'm just using this as an illustration. But if the quarterback don't throw that ball just right, or the receiver is not positioned just right, that defensive player, just like that, will intercept that ball. And that whole positive play turns into a negative play, just like that. And that's what happens oftentimes with us as people. We can be focused on something and feeling good, and out of nowhere, something negative comes. And that's where we have to kind of catch ourselves right then and there. Right then and there. Say, nope, nope, nope. I'm not gonna let you get me like that. You know, you. even if your positive energy gets intercepted, you've got to compose yourself immediately and say, okay, yeah, that did happen, but there's another play. There's another play. There's some more plays. The game ain't over, and you got to continue to play the game, and you got to continue to, because positive is going to beat negative every time, believe it or not. It may not seem that way, but it's true. Positive will always win over negative. So don't let yourself get so confused with thinking that um, something bad that happened um, dominates everything else, because that is not true. Literally, there's far more positive things going on in the world than it is negative things. But we tend to get caught up with stuff that's going on in the news, and the news, they have found a way to control the minds of so many people and get paid for it, and control the narrative and all kind of different things by putting negative stuff in front of positive stuff. They could be reporting positive news, um, 3-1 or 4-1, 5-2, but it's the opposite. They tell us what bad has happened, what you know, something that's negative the majority of the time, and they tell us maybe something good once or twice in that whole news segment. But the majority of it is something negative happened, something bad happened. And so people have sort of become that. And but somebody got to make it to the promised land. Somebody, like, I'm not preaching Bible stuff, I'm just referencing. The Bible says that one day God is going to come back, and some people going to go to heaven and some people going to go to hell. The good people going to go to heaven and the bad people going to go to hell. Well, I don't know. I ain't trying to talk about that, but I'm saying if that be the case, I know that I'm going to try to be the one that's going to go to the good place and not the bad place, you know. And I think that that takes practice for me and the average person. It's much easier said than done. So with that being said, I'm just still ecstatic about producing this comedy movie, SheDaPlaya. I want people to laugh. I want them to laugh, and I let some of the cast see a clip that I had edited. I wanted to get a reaction from them, and they really liked it. I let somebody else see it, and they just kind of like, oh, okay, that look like it's gonna be good. I let somebody else see it, and they kind of laughed. So I know that we're in a good place, because it's obvious everybody's not gonna like your soup. I don't care how good your soup tastes. I don't care what effort you put into preparing that soup. Everybody is not gonna like your soup. The, the important thing is how many people will. Will there be a lot of people that love the soup? And I think that there will be a lot of people that will love SheDaPlaya. I think SheDaPlaya would be so good and so funny that people will tell other people. They would pose the question first: have you seen that movie SheDaPlaya? And then from there, somebody would say, no, and well, you need to see it, cause, and they would start calling off characters like that old crazy Aaron Phillips right there who plays Uncle Clean. Already know, already know without a shadow of a doubt. They're gonna be a lot of people, especially women, who are gonna be like, have you, that Uncle Clean is a fool. See, when they say Uncle Clean is a fool, they saying that with some raised eyebrows. Like if they saw him in person, oh, he would have his hands full, because they be lusting over him, I'm telling you. Then we got some other characters in there that they're super funny. I'm just not even gonna get into the names. I'm mentioning Uncle Clean now because he's touching in with me right now, and I see him there. What's up, brother? And but All of the actors in there, they're just very, very talented, very, very talented. And so we're going to get laughter coming from all of these different angles and personalities and characters and stuff. So the movie is going to be good. And I think that that's why people are going to be recommending to their friends and their family to watch the movie. And I think that that's where our strength is going to end up being, just in that word of mouth. So we got like one episode to go. One episode to, I mean, not episode, but one shoot to go. One more shoot. We just finished shooting this past Wednesday. We got one more shoot coming up soon, and that's it. We're gonna wrap the whole film, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in and edit it. Right now, almost I've got 98% of what we've done already edited. I got my godson, he's like my real son, super, super talented. I just sent him the audio so that he can clean it up and put his touch on there. And he was using all these terms about what he's going to do to it. And I'm like, man, the reason why I gave it to you is because you're far more advanced than me. I'm not trying to learn all this, what you know. I just want you to clean that audio up and make it pristine so that when it's coming out of them speakers, it's on point, you know. And so I got him on that. Um, and so by the time you know what, this is September the 22nd, somewhere about a month from now, I hope to have this film uh, complete. As far as the editing part, we will have done our final shoot by then, and I will hope to have everything. If not in a month from now, it'll be approximately a month from now. So anyway, y'all stay in touch with me. If you like comedy, if you hate, if you dislike hate, stay in the comedy. Stay in the touch with the new movie SheDaPlaya coming out real soon. Okay, stay in the touch with me. If you're familiar with any of my actors, you know, friend them. And anytime you see us post something, share it with somebody, and that will be a blessing for us. And if you want to help us out monetarily, we do have a GoFundMe that um, you can you can donate any amount, and you can donate anonymously. And you know, we're very grateful for it. And so I'm going to touch out now. Want to send a shout out there to everybody that's touching in with me. Appreciate y'all doing it, hanging with me every week, being a strong supporter. Thank you for everybody who's donated, everybody who's considering it, and everybody who still will. And if you don't mind, go to bbinging.com, bbingn.com, and subscribe for $2.99 for 1 month, 24/7. Watch all the stuff I got on there. And that would be another way that you can support the movie SheDaPlaya. God bless you. Florida's own Barry S. McLeod, truly the right kind of different. Stay blessed.